Hello everyone, myself Dr. Jyoti, Assistant Professor of Zoology, KTHM College Nasik. Students, today we are going to introduce with again a new insect called beetle. Okay, its scientific name is Callosobrucus chinensis. Okay, now let us discuss regarding the insect now which is called beetle, which is also called as a gram dora. Okay, such a gram dora or its scientific name that is Callosobrucus chinensis. Now, such a pest, okay, which is a particular kind of paste of grains, okay, and which oftenly infest, okay, which contaminate particularly the pulses, okay, and therefore what we say is that the pulse beetle. Now, the pulse beetle Callosobrucus chinensis, which is another stored grain pest which infests the pulse. Okay. Now in previous lecture we discussed regarding the stored grain pest, rice beetle, okay, which particularly infests the rice, whereas now such a pulse beetle which particularly infests to the pulse. Now come to its systemic position. Now such a insect which belongs to phylum Arthropoda, then class Insecta, order Coleoptera, and here the particularly which belongs to family Bruchidae. Bruchidae is the family where the common granivorous bean weevils or seed beetles they are present. Okay, genus Callosobrucus or species that is China. Now, if we can discuss regarding its distribution, okay, this pest which is distributed throughout the tropics and subtropic region. Now, such a Callosobrucus chinensis, which is very dominant species in tropical Asia, including India. Now, this insect, which has been reported from USA, then Mauritius, Africa, China, Philippines, Japan, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and in India also. Okay, now, after that, the host plant such as it is a notorious pest of gram and also feed on cowpeas, pigeon peas, soybean, green gram, broad beans, moong, then chickpeas, arhar dal, and lentils. Okay, now which is a common pest of gram or along with such a pulse. Okay, now if we can discuss regarding its identification. Okay, now the identification which includes first the adult. Now the adult beetles they are 3 to 4 mm in length. The body which is oval in shape, chocolate or reddish brown in color, with long erected antennae. Now there are two ivory colored spots. They are present on the middle of the dorsal side of the body, which gives heart-shaped appearance when observed from the above. Okay. Now, after that, which has a conspicuous swollen abdomen. Now, the adult shows the sexual dimorphism. Here, the males they possess deeply emarginated or intended eyes and prominently serrate type of antennas are present, whereas the female, the characters they are not distinctly marked. Okay, but in case of male, the characters they are distinctly marked where the intended eyes and prominent serrated kind of antennas are present, whereas in case of female, such characters they are not what we say that the commonly marked. Okay. Now in female, the tips of the abdomen or the tip of abdomen which is exposed, while in case of male, it is covered by electra. So this is what the particular in case of male and female. Now then come to the larva. Now the grub which is white, cylindrical, fleshy, and wrinkled with brownish coloration of mouth parts. Now it always found inside the tails. Now the full grown larva, which is about 1 centimeter long, which is white and curved in appearance. Okay. Now after that come to the life cycle of such a Callosobrucus chinensis. Now such a Callosobrucus chinensis, here it is a pest which breeds actively from the month of March to November and hibernates in winter at larval stage. Okay. Now at the end of March, an adult appears and start reproducing. Now here the first stage is the egg. Now the female which lays near about 1 to 8 number of small size of eggs. Now such eggs, they are oval in shape. Here and now here particularly the eggs, they are scale like. Okay. Eggs, they appear as a scale like which are glued to the surface of single grain. Now a single female which may lay near about 34 to 115 number of eggs at the rate of 1 or 1 to 37 per day. Okay. Now the eggs, they hatch within 7 to 14 days, or the incubation period of such eggs, that is near about 7 to 14 days in the month of April and 4 to 6 days in the month of September. Okay, now from which the larvae come. Now the next stage is the larvae. Now the young larva which burrows into the grain and feed inside for 2 to 3 days. Now where which undergoing near about 4 to 5 molds. Okay, or what we say is that 4 to 5 number of larval instars they are found, they are free. Or the developmental stages of larvae, they shows 4 to 5 larval instars. Now the fully grown larva which migrates towards periphery and comes to lie next to the seed pod where it turns into the oval white cocoon. So at the last instar stage, such a last instar larvae which undergoes a process of fumigation. Okay, and now such a pupal case which is near about whitish in color or oval in shape. Now after that the pupae, where the pupal stage which lasts for near about 4 days during the summer season, but in winter season, okay, the pupal phase which takes a longer period, which is near about 28 days. Okay, now here what we say is that depending on the favorable climatic conditions. In case of summer season, it takes only 4 days, but in case of winter, it takes up to the 28 days. Now after that the adult. Okay, now the adults, they emerge from the grain after cutting a circular hole in the seed pod. Now the time taken to complete their life cycle, which varies according to the temperature and the nature of grains on which the pest breeds. Why? Because if the grains, they are moistened, okay, they have moisture, lot of moisture, then the life cycle which completes in a short period of time. But if the grains, okay, they are they have less moisture, then they take more time. Okay, now in soybeans it is completed in 41 days. In lentils it takes near about 34 to 41 days, while in arhar it is completed in 25 to 34 days. Now here near about 6 to 7 generations of such a pest, they are commonly found in. Okay, now then what we conclude, that what we say is that such a species which is again a multi-volatile in its nature. Okay, means in throughout the year in India, it shows near about its 6 to 7 life cycles. Okay, so it is a multi-volatile. Okay, now this is what all about the life cycle of such a Callosobrucus chinensis. Now if we can discuss regarding its nature of hunting, so it is usually affects the pulses in storage. So therefore the field infestation which is more common. the larval stage, which is the most damaging stage of life cycle. So as it is feeding on the endosperm of the seed. Why? Because again the larvae which are having the strong kind of mouthpart, that is mandibulate kind of mouthparts, and larval stages, they are the voracious feeders. Now such a larval stages, they attack on the endosperm of the seed. Okay, now the young girls, they burrow inside the pod or grain and continue to develop inside. Now the holes seen on pulses, they are exit hole from where the adults have emerged. Now such a grains, they are unsuitable for the sowing, and also such a grains, okay, such a pulses, okay, they are unsuitable for human consumption also. Now the pests which cause maximum damage during the month of February to August, when all its developmental stages exist simultaneously. Okay. Now this is what about its nature of pesting. Let's come to the control stage. Now such a pest which can be controlled by both ways, that is cultural as well as chemical way. Now if we can discuss its cultural control methods, which include the periodical exposure of such a grain, such a pulses directly to the sunlight. Okay. Meanwhile, which can reduce the moisture. Okay. Which can reduce the moisture, and which are having the less chances of contamination by means of such a pest. Now, after drying in sunlight, we have to properly store such a grains, such a pulses in a polythene lined gunny bag. Okay, such a bag which is near about 3 cm high at the sand layer. Okay, so we have to properly store such a grain, such a pulses in proper way or in polythene bags. Now, use of neem leaves, then mixing of ash powder, which is again a common agricultural practice and which is a traditional practice. After that, avoid storage of broken seeds as they are more susceptible to attack. Okay, if such a seed, okay, they are already contaminated with insects, so avoid to storage such a kind of seeds, avoid to storage such a kind of grains or okay. So removal of infested residue from the last season, which also plays an important role in controlling or limiting the infestation. Now after that come to the chemical control. Now here the gunny bag should be treated with 10% malathion solution. Now as I already told you, we have to properly store such a grains in gunny bags or in plastic bags. Okay. Now such a bag, okay, they are well fumigated or treated with 10% malathion solution. Then application of ethylene dibromide, okay, which is effective storage of such a seeds as a tight storage. Okay, so which is effective, that is ethylene bromide. So this is what about regarding the chemical control method. Along with that, okay, the best common practice, that is fumigation. Now fumigation with carbon disulfide or methyl bromide, which would control the pest effectively. Okay, so fumigation of such a carbon disulfide, methyl bromide, okay, now which is best practice to avoid the contamination. Okay, now such a fumes of carbon disulfide or methyl bromide, they are highly toxic. Okay, they are highly toxic to the developing stages or to the adult stages of such a pest. Now fumigation with aluminum phosphide, which protect the seed without affecting the virus. Now this is what all about the chemical control method. Okay, now this is what regarding the insect pulse beetle, or which is also commonly called as the Gangurde, and the scientific name, that is Callosobrucus. Okay, thank you so much.